anytime I tell anyone that I work in cheese, almost everyone's immediate reaction is, I love cheese.
Alright, welcome to a Mr. Pig YouTube video. Today, we're just gonna, we're doing the classic Mr. Pig strat, which is just cheese. I mean, this is just randoms, except for one game. We'll get into a little bit of a sweat lobby at one point with the classic. I'm not gonna try to, spoil it right off the bat, but many of you already know who I would say my rival is on this damn game. And he'll pop into my lobby later on. But for now, we're just playing randoms. We'll go through a couple scenarios of how you actually win this game. A lot of people ask me, they're like, Mr. Pig, how are you so upcoming? How are you just so good at this game? How are you finishing these games just so fast? And what I tell them is you just cheese. That's all you really do to this game. RB under Brute just gets boring after a while. So instead of going over, going Temple 3rd, actually in this case I do go Temple 3rd as the Arbiter, but instead of just heading over and denying pads, blah blah blah, it's all just the boring same stuff. We're gonna cheese people's bases today. We'll go through a couple different scenarios how to cheese. Most of them are with the Arbiter, but you can do them with the Brute, which we'll see later on. And honestly, you might even be able to do it with like the Prophet, but I haven't tried. I just think that would probably just kill your eco so early because the beam just takes up so much cash. But for this case, we're just going Temple 3rd. I didn't go the first upgrade on the Arbiter. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But it really depends on the player or if I have the cash. But I'm trying to get to their base really early on because I don't want them getting Citadel. The whole thing is just to try to run Sui's into their keep. Now, you can do this on 6 Suicide Grunts. That's usually the most optimal thing. And then from there, just keep trying to get your pads up. Because this is a big risk. You are putting out like $700-800 just into Sui's. But Sui's in this game are retarded and like to go into the side of the base. And you want them to hit the front of the base. Because if they hit the side, then they'll damage the pads, and the DPS will go into the pads and not into the what's it called, the main base. But yeah, this guy's putting a gen up. I think he saw that I was coming. Ayo. But it's pretty much just too late. Like, you see the one Sui that went into the side, it does like significantly less damage than the ones that did in the front. But this guy just quits right off the bat, and that's pretty much just how you win those games. It's just that easy. And I'm good. But those guys later I got into a match with them again, and they joined my team and just started cheesing me, even though I was on their team, even though somehow I did beat them. But yeah, people don't like when you do that. I don't really blame them, but you have to learn the hard way in order to get good. In my first game, I saw a chieftain came up to me, and he tsunami'd my whole base down, and I thought he was hacking. But from there, I've learned the strat of the cheese. So now I'm just doing pretty much the same thing as Brute this game. But I don't go Temple first because I think Temple first is idiotic. And I know you're supposed to do it in like pro leagues and shit, but I think he just puts you at such a big economic disadvantage. You can only go in with really 2 Brutes, and you're fighting to get supply pads up. I guess I'm having a spaz here. But yeah, so I go Temple second. So that will give me the money to buy both Inheritance and get a Brute readied up. So I'm pretty much like economically set for the rest of this game. But I don't think I'm really going into this game with the mindset of cheesing until I see this idiot who's supposed to be a general going to Elephant. And it's not even to take the walls, it's just to take a base. And that's when I knew that this game is pretty much, far from me winning it. And the other kid, I think, is just an idiot the whole game as well. Luckily, I think it's a Smurf, some other kid, and some Bozo, so it's not that bad. Burp.
Inheritance researched.
But yeah, I get Inheritance. Usually I don't get Inheritance. I wasn't planning on cheesing, I was just planning on denying pads. In most cases, I just want to win the Tsunami upgrade first, but, what are you gonna do? Just making my way downtown, walking fast, doing the regular. Here I catch some Warthogs, and I don't really know why they come after me, and they ram me. doesn't really make any sense. And then he lets me stun him, but I guess that kid isn't a smurf, he just sucks. What are you gonna do? And then this kid lets me catch his ghost as well, so thank you, I guess. But yeah, he's going elephant, he's going marine. Stupid, you never go elephant on cutter because that's just a bozo play. You just go into warthogs and you can transition to tanks if you want. But cutter's also like the worst UNSC player in my opinion. I think he's so boring. Words easily is the best one in the entire game, and my word is final. So yeah, but yeah, I really came in with just like the idea of denying pads. And that's what I just start doing here. See how much like my eco is so much better now because I went temple second. I actually like have cash to port in brutes, and I have inheritance so I can soak up damage. This kid's just spending all of his money on the beam on my chieftain instead of the brutes, but we're, you know, he's an idiot with the rest of this community. At least he does have Regrets Condemnation or whatever the first upgrade is.
Local units.
Yeah, blue comes out with more hogs. Actually, do I even get this or upgrade? See, I don't have it here, and I'm pretty much. I mean, I still have 3 brutes, but they're kind of going through it.
Local units.
But I think right here he D-bombs like an idiot in such a dumb spot, and it kind of like makes you wanna cheese because at this point it's like you're asking me for a challenge, and you know what? Like I'm just gonna do it. I'll cheese. But the goal here, you can do 2 things with your brutes. You can put them on the other side of your chieftain so the prophet has to either focus you or the brutes. Or I noticed you can kind of put the brutes, if you only have like 1 or 2, put them in between the chieftain and the base. That's really if you're fighting the arbiter though, so the arbiter can't rage down the brutes. But I'm not sure what the prophet's doing here, and at this point it's like, you know what, I'm pretty sure I get the idea. Yep, I'm just gonna start the cheese. Like, you really need just 4 brutes, that will do it. The rest is just all tsunami. It's really if the brutes hit all their shots, and right here they're in a great spot. They actually are hitting it for once. In this case, if you are getting cheese, sell your temple. I wouldn't say sell your supply pads though, because you are at risk of, you know, supply glitching yourself. But if you don't have the 500, then yeah, I guess go for it. At least my chieftain, bada bing, bada boom, whatever, I kind of, you know, I'm in a better spot. I'm in a better spot than I was if I was the arbiter in this case, because I don't spend as much cash on just the suies. And I actually have, I think, 3 heavy supply pads, but I'm just going to cut this, I think, a little. Yeah, so we're just about 2 minutes in now. I don't need you to be watching that. Peons, like Elon Musk. It's a great Trippy Red quote, if you know who that is.
Complete.
I went double haul looking back on it. I probably should have just gone single haul. It's kind of hard to manage all that. You'd think with a double supply, like 4 heavy supply pads would be good, but still, it's not enough with the brutes and 2 hauls. And then, so here I try to do the glitch. And I shout out the Turnip Seed for showing me to do this. Except I still suck at it. And I mean, I get him up there. And then his bitch ass decides to walk off. I don't know what he was doing. At this point, it's like, you know what, do I recall? And then I'm like, no, I'm just built different, so I'll just send him in anyway. This kid, I'm surprised he didn't quit, honestly. He still played the game. My teammate actually has somewhat of a fucking brain, it looks like, and he pelicaned his shit up there, but like, he didn't pelican enough farther enough, so it kind of just gets stuck. But whatever. At this point, we're also like 10 minutes into this game, and this kid's still on stock tank. So I don't understand it, but I mean, like, you do you. So I'm vortexing everything down instead of the base, because the base is so low that I know my grunts can just take it. Plus I got the tanks here, so it's not that big of an issue. But should be wrapping up this guy. Yeah, there goes the Prophet. Prophet sucks. He's actually the worst leader in the game, if anybody asks. Arbiter is the best leader in the game. If you play anything other than the Arbiter, you clearly don't know how to play this game. But yeah. Arbiter and Forge are the only people you should ever play. If you play Anders, you're pretty much just a pussy. Anders is definitely not RS. So that kid rage quits, and that's pretty much like it for this game at this point. I just don't feel like cutting it. It's the pain in the ass to edit. So I'm just gonna like let it roll for like the next 2 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we just take out this kid's base and then I don't know. He's like, I don't know what he's doing for the next 2 minutes. He's just like holding his dick in his hands because he's like, God, now I gotta watch him try to go Goss, and then it's not gonna work. It's like yada yada yada, just end the game, you know. But it is what it is. Kid's still in stock tanks. This kid hasn't even hit ODSTs yet, and at this point we're about like 14-15 minutes into this game. Doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So I just catch this Expo. I
Local units.
rallied all my grunts to who know where. But they're coming back. Here we are with the Medic Marines. This is actually why we won this game, is those Medic Marines. If we didn't have them, who the hell knows what that Gauss could have really done. Like, if he had upgraded to ODSTs, that probably would have been a problem and we would have lost, but luckily he kept in a Medic the whole game, so we were good.
Power terminated.
I don't even know how I didn't die here. He had almost full pop of Gauss, and I had all my brutes focusing the base, but somehow they still kill it, and he still loses all of his crap. But I don't know, that's just bad micro on him.
Local units.
After I had a 3-star, like, this is what I don't get about this game. You know, these lobbies are filled with these 3-star, like, no-life bozos, and you're gonna come at me like, yo, this is your first, like, big video, why are you coming at this community? It's like, it's because this community is a bunch of fucking bitches. Like, that. I don't understand. Like, there's so many people that are, like, so high level and so bad at this game. Yeah, I understand, I did cheese this guy's base off the start, but, like, it took you 15 minutes to get Gauss, and you didn't even try to advance. I mean, whatever, that's on you, I don't care. I'm asking for all the smoke. If you don't like the way I talk about this community and how everyone just sits on their ass all day and is way too invested, you know, Mr. Pay 26 is my username, feel free to come at me. I'm bringing a new era into the Halo Wars community. Not one of nerds and geeks, but one of, you know, Sigma males and bitches. Might be a little hard to hear, and it's going to be a big switch for a lot of you, but yeah, I'm telling you, it will benefit you in the end. And there goes Mobile Donut. Actually, oh my god, my team Loki was stacked. But whatever. So here's the next game. This is my favorite match, because I'm playing against Gauss R Us, or Dilbert, or I'm a little bitch boy. There's a lot. He's got a lot of names out there. Surprisingly, this guy is a lot older than me, but has the mindset of a child. But you know, what are you gonna do? If you know, there's some long feud with me and Dilbert.
Warehouse complete.
You know, he came on to Turnip Stream, acting like a child. I called him out. He got all pissed, and then he challenged me to a 3v3, and I beat him, even after he was caught stream sniping twice. But yeah, that's usually how it goes. Every now and then I'll find a lobby and with him in it, and I'll beat him, and he'll go cry about it, and then he'll beat me one game or something happens. And he's up at all of my DMs calling me trash, but at the end of the day,
Enemy engagement.
he has yet to actually outplace me in the rank leaderboards.
Complete.
Or, what's it called? The end of match leaderboard, sorry. I'm usually first or second, he's usually fifth or sixth. It's like the same
Enemy
thing.
engagement.
He gets hard carried, but, you know, I'll talk my crap. Because, this game will show it.
Enemy engagement.
Like, he knows. Tiny Shoe definitely knows. And Turnip all know that I pretty much only just cheese, especially as Arbiter. I pretty much just run Suies. So, I mean, you can use that against me, but whatever. And he doesn't let his teammate know. And this is a full stack squad. This is RB under Brute. Or no. This is, he went random cubby, so he got the Prophet. but I mean they're both going double Gauss, and he's got the Prophet, blah blah blah. And oh, I think it's Gauss R Us, a Smurf, and some other like general. And then on my team, I got, I don't even know the names, so I didn't even look at them. But the one kid's really good. Yeah, the kid sucks. But their our Prophet goes and distracts on the UNSC base, which is awesome. That was beautiful for me. That kind of just like left me a wide door just to come open and cheese this kid's base. When I recommend doing the cheese, unlock your base early on, so that the grunts are walking with your arbiter as you approach the base. Because if you start attacking the base and then unlock your grunts, someone with a brain is gonna realize that A, you're cheesing, or B, just even though you're at their base, and they'll pull their Prophet back and start beaming all your grunts out. So I do it here, so as soon as my arbiter comes in range, so do all my Suis. Okay, but I have confidence, so I go into Fiendish. But this is what I'm talking about. See, those two go into the side, and this one even goes into the side, and it doesn't kill the whole base. Instead, it targets the supply pads. So now he's got the time to realize that his base is getting cheese, and he sells his temple and gets the cash back. Now I'm looking like an idiot here because now I gotta wait until this guy finishes his shit off. But I get another Sui in there and I kill it.
All units.
That was that. Actually, do they kill me here? I kind of hope they kill me here. It'd be funny. No, they don't, because Dilbert drops a shitty ass D-bomb because he sucks once again. If anyone with a brain could have used a better D-bomb than that. But, you know, I'm gonna go, just rage run out of there. Take a Hawk with me, just tell him that, you know, you suck. Sure he knows, but I saw that they took this Expo, so I'm just gonna rage run back over there real quick. I don't do the RB rage run because I also suck at this game sometimes, and I can never get it half the time, and it like pisses me off.
All units.
But you know, what are you gonna do?
Let me go.
Or just swinging away at it. If it doesn't get there, but it's alright.
Local units. Warehouse upgrade.
I mean, it's very risky for them to go
No more waiting.
into a side expo when you're going hogs.
Local units.
You don't have Grenadier, and you're playing double cubby. Like, you should know that you should be turtling up in the beginning, but they tried anyway, and it was a silly move, and they lost for it.
As you wish. I must quench my rage.
I'll rage run back and actually get the rage run this time. I know the one down to D-bomb. This should be good.
Out of resources. Power terminated.
Swing away some pads.
About time. So much anger. I'll cut them up. Honor. What now?
Local units.
Point the way. I will. What shall I do?
I see.
No challenge. No more waiting. Toward glory, I move. I am the Arbiter!
I don't know why I back off.
Finally,
I think I wanted to stack runs before I went back in. And then I see that the Prophet's there, so you just kind of go in together.
what is needed? Honor.
But I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Like, I'm just gonna cheese the Expo base now. It's not out keep yet. I think he does go to keep, but it's not there right now. So it should only take, I think, like 3 or 4 opposed to the 6.
I am chosen.
And he only has got the 1 supply pad, so it's not like they can really waste other DPS on something else.
My blade.
But see, now he does go keep.
I will. The mighty covenant.
Local units.
My teammate goes. Oh, my teammate starts beaming it, so it's awesome. The grunt, of course, isn't listening. I hit right bumper like 18 times, and he's being an idiot. Another awful
More
D-bomb.
waiting.
They can't catch me because I'm him. What are we gonna do? Get the one upgrade because I'm starting to feel a little pressed.
All units.
You know, they keep trying to debomb me and they keep missing, so I know they're out for my throat and they're probably talking in their little private party like, oh, we gotta get Mr. Pig, he's a bitch, all this shit. But instead, I'm just gonna start looking for hogs because they're so far behind. They're still not even on Grenadier yet, so I know I can just go through them like butter.
Let me go.
Once again, yeah, see, I'm telling you, like my teammate's an idiot. He went Spartans this game. He doesn't even put them in the tanks, and that gets a general too. It's like, what is this community, man? You guys clearly didn't go to Halo Wars College. But my teammate clutches out, and he, this is a good teammate. He beams down there to that base. That's pretty much it at this point. They already know that they just, yeah, there he goes. Resign, resign, resign.
I don't make mistakes. I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better. I'm not.
Alright. We're back on Exile.
All units.
The best threes map, in my opinion. Only because I find it so interesting. There's so much you can do, which you can't really do in, you know, regular 14. 14 gets a little boring after a while, so whenever I see an open lobby, I'm glad, you know, spice it up. So right here, we're just going, we're going double base. I noticed they got the Prophet, and he doesn't go double base at the beginning. He does it late, and it kind of just invites me into, you know, the cheese play, which I will run.
Complete. Outpost ready.
But for the first couple of minutes, it's just, you know, me getting the bases up, since, you know, you're not going temple second or third. You just, it's like about 2 minutes, so we'll skip through this for the time being.
All unit.
And now we're back. 2 minutes into the future. I went temple 5th because
Enemy engagement.
I built different and I don't care. I know you can go temple 4th, but I don't like waiting on cash, so
Leader temple.
yeah.
Complete.
Arbiter on the field.
Yellow scouts me, and I probably should have been aware of that. I mean, I saw it, but was it? You know, what am I gonna do? He sits back there for the whole game too, and it's kind of will get annoying later on in the game. But blue,
Orders.
oh, blue does an expo actually. He goes straight to the reactors and starts taking the reactors. I think he was thinking early on either early Scarab Rush or he's gonna try to get Flying Prophet, which on this map versus double UNSC, even triple UNSC can be so deadly, especially if you're like pressuring the other team's hooks. At that point, it's just so ruthless. But I stack up 2 sets of grunts. The double pump makes it so much easier, and I start pouring them in pretty much right away. Like I said, try to open up your base before you get there. My teammates are having a spaz attack over the reactors because they don't know how to share, and it's beautiful. But just like that, you know, very successful cheese. I even have a leftover grunt, and that kid rage quits. I mean, what are you gonna do? But I guess just don't be bad at the game. That's what I would say. That's my recommendation.
All units. All units.
But graciously, he took both hooks for us, and then he quit. So now we don't have to do any of the work, and I get
Fiendish
both
return,
hooks.
research.
Look at that RB Rage run right there. I know y'all jealous because it immediately gets into it. It's a year of hard and skill right there.
Keep upgrade complete. Warehouse upgraded. All units.
Surprisingly enough, his teammates don't quit, so I do have to play against them, but I mean, I'm just gonna go right to sacrifice Banshees. You can't really defend against that as UNSC. Their death damage just kind of just does too much damage. There's no vampires to stasis them and remove that factor, so them alone is
Warehouse
so strong.
upgraded. Enemy engagement.
And the yellow base guy just went, turned it up, so he's just giving me a bunch of time to go into this, especially after I just paid like $800 for those suies. But I mean, I'm still economically okay. Start getting my pads up.
Summit complete. Warehouse upgraded.
So you know, the
As you wish.
meaning of this game, just like the beginning, you know, you ask, how do you balance school, work, social life, a girlfriend, the gym, all these, you know, basic life things, and somehow still have time to play Xbox and be, you know, one of the top Halo players in the community, you know, out of a whopping 5,000 people. But this is it right here. You just cheese your games. You get the points for it, you know, you win the games, you get on the leaderboard, you beat Dover every time, and this is it. This is how you have a life, but still enjoy, you know, one of the greatest games of all time.
No mercy.
You're just looking for cash. I'm trying to rage down that Mama Pop Flood thing, because I think it will do less damage. If she hits you dead on, it hits you some good damage. I've lost my prophet to that before. But yeah, so yellows are still chilling back there, and I see him back there lurking. And I think he knows. I mean, they'll pull a smart play in the future. They know I'm just trying to get right into sacrifice. I think they see that I have their hooks as well.
What shall I do?
But they never come and try to take him back, which is it's gonna haunt them later on.
Repeating cannon research.
My blade is ready.
Again, I'm gonna try to run. Fail the armor glitch because it only works like half the time.
Honor. I will. I'll bring them down.
See, I want to get to that base, but yellow does come and starts pushing me, and they do a nice play here. If they... Yeah, so they mac my one summit that's popping Banshees, so now we've got no Banshee production, and the other one is making Sacrifice. So I'm basically just stuck with the 2 or 3 Banshees that I have, plus the Arbiter, and they D-bomb. So they set themselves up good here, but if they had targeted my summit instead of my Arbiter, it probably could have really screwed me. I mean, at that point I have repeating, so I can still, you know, fend off tanks, but Sacrifice kind of just threw it, like, it pretty much just submits the game to me at that point. But they don't do that. Instead, I have a freewheeling Arbiter and a Sacrifice. My teammate should have matched here, could have just caught 3. I stupidly just try to rage run down 5 tanks. Even though they're stock, I don't have enough health to come at them. And I don't even have the health upgrade, so my Arbiter pretty much just dies.
All units.
But luckily enough, my teammates do come. Ayo. Surprisingly enough, my teammate does have the reactors, and it's about 7 minutes into this game, probably even more so, and he's on Tech 1 Hornets. But you know, what are you gonna do? He's there saving my crap, so you're not allowed to see it. But if you don't cheat these early on games, you could get stuck with, you know, these teammate matchups, and later on you're gonna get, you know, you could possibly lose. So cheese is the way to go.
Summit complete.
So I did go into double summit. I mean, the game's pretty much wrapping up at this point, so I don't need to take back my base. The Covey can definitely just sit on one base for like almost the majority of a game, or the entirety of a game at times, because they're not really, you know, they don't need that second base as bad as the UNSC does. Plus, I already have Sacrifice, so I don't have to save up cash for, you know, upgrading my tempo. I can just focus on my Banshee numbers. But there goes yellow, quits. Playing SimCity over there, as Chip Skylark once said. And then I'll just put pressure on red. Finish up this game.
All units.
Red does come over and try to make a final pushing my base. If he had carpeted or maxed my... Does he? I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, but they were trying to, you know, reverse cheese me and get back at me for KOing their teammate. And he almost does it here, but he doesn't micro his canny enough, and I mean, I'm getting my Banshee numbers up in their sacrifice, so at that point there's not much you can do. But that's gonna wrap up the game pretty much. And the end of this video. You know, I'll see you on the next one, guys. I got a great 2v2 coming up with me and Shrek. And I'll catch you on the Turnip stream Saturday nights. There's my free shout out. Love you. Bye.